on the World Wide Web, on your mobile phone, and on all social media platforms. Jambo Radio.
Okay.
Welcome to this inspiring transformation on Jambo Radio. I am Dino Lawman. Today on the program, we are talking to Mr. Ted. Mr. Ted, thank you very much for talking to Jambo Radio. Can you introduce to our listeners yourself?
Well, I'm Ted Franklyns. I'm 29 years old. I live in Uxbridge, just outside London. Married, got a wife and 2 kids. One just turned 3 yesterday, and the other one is a year and a half. Yeah, I'm currently serving in the British Army. At the moment, I'm posted out to a bomb disposal unit, so we do a lot of stuff around UK mainland. I've been in the army for 8 years, joined straight after my university. I went to school or uni at Derby University, East Midlands. Finished my degree, my law degree, so I have an LLB Hunt in law. And yeah, so I've been in the army for 8 years, like I said, and doing stuff all over the world. And right now, I'm here right now.
All right, thank you very much. That was quite. I didn't expect to hear much of that, but it's really delight to know that you serve in the British Army you've been serving for 8 years. Where are you originally from?
Originally, I'm from Cameroon, in West Africa, bordered by Nigeria, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea. Yeah.
Okay, and which year did you move to the UK, or were you born in the UK?
I wasn't born in the UK. I initially moved to the UK in 2009, September 2009, to further my education. So I got granted admission into Derby University after I was successful on my A-levels back in Cameroon. So I got admission into Derby and flew over and started my course at Derby University in 2009.
Wow, thank you very much for that. How was it like growing up in Cameroon? Did you face challenges? How was life like growing up in Cameroon?
Well, to be fair, we all face challenges everywhere, wherever it is you grow up. But Cameroon in per se is a unique country, given that the country is in 2 parts. So we have the English-speaking part and the French-speaking part. The French-speaking part has got majority of the population, and the English part has got a smaller, population. So I grew up in the English part. I'm from the English part of Cameroon, Bamenda to be precise, but I was born in the southwest. I grew up there, went to school, lived with my grandma all my life. My mom and dad lived in the other side of the country. So the difficulties that we face in Cameroon, apart from the usual poverty and hunger and all of that, it's the fact that even when you come from a well-off, middle class or whatever class we want to call it, but when you come from a well-off place, the difficulties you really face would be different from the difficulties people who are at different levels of the class system would face. So for me, I was lucky enough to be born into an all right family. We had everything. We had our food, we got education. So the difficulties we faced were learning and integrating ourselves with the country as a whole. So you from the English part, learning how to speak French and learning to live with the French speaking people, and then associating yourself. So because you speaking 2 languages gives you that flexibility. You're the full all-round Cameroonian, so you have opportunities. So if you were to go play with your French speaking mates, you will be able to communicate with them, as well as the other kids around that come. So yeah, difficulties for me, they were not so much, because at my level I had everything given to me by my family. So yeah, so it was just really the education system that we just had to really work through.
All right, let's just fast forward a little bit into your time. You're currently serving in the British Army. Are there any challenges that you face being in the British Army for 8 years?
Yes. Typically, being a foreign and Commonwealth soldier, there's a few challenges you would face, and the first one, which is mainly, is the culture. Is the culture. So, for instance, me moving from Cameroon and coming into the UK, I spent a lot of times with the little black communities, So I'm Cameroonian. I had to then mix with my fellow brothers from other African countries, Nigerians, Zimbabweans, Congolese, Malawians, the whole bunch, got to know so much about the Caribbeans, the cultures, made a lot of friends. And then you meet the average white people as well. And then you get to learn with them as well. But the shock that you pick from joining the army, you then get a step further into your relationship with other cultures. You understand?
Yeah.
Back in university, you live in your own house or your own small room, you got your privacy, that good stuff. But joining the army, you get to find yourself living in a room, a 10-man room, a 12-man room with other people. You see, so, and there's a lot of things that for me, growing up in Cameroon, there's some values, values and standards that we keep. And then you go into another person's culture and they have their own values and standards, which you now have to get acquainted with. You see, so the issue of values and standards was what really struck me. Going in there, a joke is a joke. You see, a joke is a joke in that sense, but you will probably not see it as a joke, or you probably don't get the joke. You understand? So, my pa, I call him Paul. Paul could crack a joke, and everyone around you laughs, hysterically, like, that was funny. And then you sitting there with a blank expression on your face, and you still waiting for the joke, and you're like, oh, okay, what happened? And everyone laughs at you now, like, oh, you missed it. Is that really, it took me a while. It took me a while to get into that, to really understand it. And then you have the usual, like, for instance, what's going on now, the whole BLM movement and everything.
Yeah.
Being in the army is quite a big institution, and it's quite, a significant institution, because you would think that the British Army is an arm of the country that embodies a lot. You understand? It embodies a lot. So you would expect them to keep, their standards as well up there, But like it is with every other individual, you don't really take certain things to the system in general, even though some of us know our systems are really flawed. But you meet individuals who I would say, their only chance of actually meeting and interacting with a person of color or a person from a different place, is that chance they have in the army. You see, so you get hit with stereotypes, borderline racism. You have people who drop those subliminal messages, and sometimes you have to soldier on, like they tell us. But you meet a lot of ignorant people. Some people do not even know that the things they say or the things they do are wrong. You see, because they've never been taught otherwise. You see, so is that what that's what I've witnessed being in the army. But it's actually helped. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Ted. Just being a Commonwealth soldier in the British Army, what advice will you give, say, a Commonwealth citizen thinking about joining the army? What practical advice would you give to them if they're listening to you right now?
I would say, if you are a Commonwealth soldier and you're interested in joining the army, make sure you know what you really want. A lot of times people are not given all the choices. They're not given all the information to make the right choices. So if you're interested, make sure you speak to someone who you can relate to, so that they give you advice, information as to what you want to do. So inquire, ask them questions, so that they can give you all this information, so you make informed decisions. You see, So ask if you want to join, because sometimes they push us. If you go to join, they just push you to probably a job trade which you do not really want. You see,
Okay.
but because you just, I want to join,
Yeah.
you end up, you end up going into something that you don't really have a passion for, or something you were really never meant for. Yeah, so ask, get information from other people you can relate to who have been in there, and then ask for them to guide you on where to go and what to do.
All right then. Before we move on to the next thing to talk about, what are some of, or are there any key moment that you can recall from your time in the service? Like, is there any particular thing that stand out or that strike you anytime you think of, you know what, I'm in the British Army? What is that thing that just strikes you out?
I don't know. We've had highs and lows, but there's no particular. To be fair, I would talk about my highs. My highs are the moments where I've spent out with a bunch of good lads, serving outside of the country. So be it in an operational conflict or non-operational tour, those moments are the moments where you really see people bonding together, coming and looking after each other. So those are my moments, that I really cherish, the highs really. The lows will always come, but when you think about the highs, it just helps you navigate through the lows.
Oh, thank you very much. All right, moving on. I see you're the founder of Rainmaker Entertainment. Can you tell our listener what Rainmaker Entertainment is?
Rainmakers Entertainment is a promotion company, an event promotion company. We at the moment we bring artists, so be it performing arts, comedians, um, musicians, dancers from Cameroon to perform in the UK for the Cameroonian community. At this level, that's where we are, but we're looking to grow out of it and go on to other African communities. So I'm in talks with a few artists from the other side of Africa, so East Africa. I've spoken to a few people from South Africa. So it's all about the culture, promoting the Cameroonian culture and the African culture in general.
Oh, wow. That's quite a big phenomenon entertainment brand that you've got going. What inspired you to start Rainmaker Entertainment, considering that you're currently serving in the British Army?
Yeah, while I was back at the university, in my university years, we liked to party a lot. And me and a group of friends, we were always at parties. So you find me in Leicester, Coventry, Birmingham, Stoke-on-Trent. I was everywhere partying. People used to call me that guy, the light of the party. He's the life of the party. When he walks in when you walk into a place and the atmosphere changes, you know. And then we had a run of bad events where you go there and no, some were bad events, some were just not our place. You go there and you don't get the vibe, you don't get the music you wanted to hear.
Yeah.
So we then came together. It was a mix of people who came together and said, this is what we want, but we don't get it served to us out there. How about we come together and start something that we dictate, you know? So we came together, a bunch of friends, and we formed Rainmakers back at the university. But when we graduated, the group was disbanded. So I decided to take on it. So I spoke to everybody and said, I'm taking the group to the next level. So I took the name. It's now a company, a big company. And we had a few events last year, 2019.
Okay.
We had an artist from Cameroon, Magasco. We had a show in Birmingham. It was for a first event, it was shallow, but that has not stopped me from going forward. I had another event when a really big African artist, DJ Arafat of Ivory Coast, he's one of the greatest the continent has produced.
Oh,
And
wow.
when he passed away in August, I decided to do like pay a little homage, a little tribute to this guy. This guy has been inspiring in the Coupé de Calais scene as well as the French African scene.
Yeah.
He's broken that bubble and brought a different genre of music that was not really appreciated out in the diaspora.
Yeah.
And this guy really did his best to take it out there. So I did a little tribute in Birmingham, and the tribute was absolutely amazing. People turned up. the Ivorians themselves did not even see it coming. So once they had wind of it, they were like, oh my God, that is actually brilliant. It was just a few weeks after he died. So they were like, okay, because some of them were like, oh yeah, we'll do so. But when they heard this one was going on, they came out in their numbers and it was really brilliant. It was an amazing event.
All right, I see. Rainmaker Entertainment has been for quite a long time since when you were in university. So can you actually tell us exactly when when you guys came together and formed Rainmaker?
Yes, that was 2011. 2011, we came together. We formed a little event promoting group. We used to do events in Derby. We did a few events in Coventry. We did a few events we did Leicester and then up in Leeds. You see, so we worked with a few DJs and then worked with a few comedians at the time. So yeah, that's when we started back in 2011 when we gave birth to that idea.
All right, but in 2019, you decided to take, or I say, the mandates to push forward this Rainmaker Entertainment. So, why do you choose? Why did you choose to remain with the name Rainmaker Entertainment, considering the guys you started with in 2011 all left, and now you just wanted to still? Is it like a legacy thing you wanted to continue, or was it just something that you just passionate or inspired by the name?
Yeah, when we came together, everyone was bringing ideas about a name to call ourselves, and I was the one who suggested Rainmakers Entertainment. And the moment it came out of my mouth, everyone went, that's the name we're looking for. It's a catchy name, it's a catchy name in the sense when you hear Rainmakers Entertainment, the first thing comes like, okay, what do you do? Is that name that turns heads? He raises eyebrows like, oh, okay. I want to see what this guy is doing. I want to know what this guy is doing. So it was the name. And given the fact that I was the one who brought that name, I thought I'll stick to this name. It has that flair to it. It has that flair to it. It has that ambience to it. So I thought, you know what, I'm sticking with this name. And that's how we are here today.
Okay, and I can see the name means so much to you. It's a name that you've carried for so long. So when you were in the you're still currently serving in the British Army. Has entertainment always been your vision?
Yes, entertainment for me is a passion. Entertainment for me it's in me. It's in me in the sense that I love that hype. I love to be around a good vibe, So if I was in a party, and I didn't know anyone, as long as there's good music, you would see me on the dance floor. If I was at a party where I knew a lot of people, before you know it, I'm beside the DJ, I'm holding the microphone, shouting out some stuff, giving hype to the party, giving the So it's just my thing. It's just my thing. I love music. I love good music. I listen to music from every part of this world, honestly. As long as you got rhythm, you got a message, sometimes it's just the rhythm. Sometimes we don't even understand who is saying, but just that rhythm, when you hear a beat that just gets you moving your shoulders, your head, I love it. I love music. I love entertainment, the whole thing, that good vibe. That's me.
So, looking at Rainmaker, it feels like it's an entertainment industry where you're trying to promote Cameroon music and African music, and in general. But have you thought of the fact that you're based in the United Kingdom, which is different from the African or the Cameroonian culture? So, how do you kind of like integrate the two together?
Well, the fact that we're in the UK, really, I've never seen it as a barrier, in the sense that when I look at the other countries and cultures in Africa who have really broken into the world scene, take for instance Nigeria, now you have Tanzania, Ghanaians, they're all over the place giving us the good vibes. So I'm thinking, why should Cameroon be left behind? We have equally good music, just as good as they have. So why should we be left behind? They listen to Congolese music all over the world. Why can Cameroonian music not be listened to all over the world? You understand? Because the first, way back, everyone had the notion that, it's because we speak French, so we only need to sing in English so we could break through. And I'm like, no, Congolese music is being danced all over the world. They speak Lingala. Half of the songs are in Lingala. Not everybody understands, but the vibe of the music, the beat, when Fali comes on, you have people dancing and singing, and sometimes they don't understand the word he says. But it's the good music, the vibe that the music gives off. And we have that in Cameroon. We have good music in Cameroon. Cameroon is the culture of Cameroon is so diverse. You know, they call Cameroon Africa in miniature because we have everything in Cameroon. You understand? So
Yeah.
I think, why should we be left behind? We can give out the same level of enjoyment in the Afrobeat scene, the same level of enjoyment in the Coupe de Calais scene, you know, everything. We can give the same. So why should we be left behind? So that's why I decided to advocate to promote the culture of Cameroon. And by the grace, I will join other big promoters out there, and then, you know, just keep the African scene going.
So, in as much as you're trying to push the Cameroon music industry out there, you're also trying to kind of like unite African music together, where we could listen to African music wherever we are, and we don't have to kind of like say, oh, this music is from Cameroon, this music is from Nigeria, from Ghana. We just listen to Afrobeat, African music wherever we are. Is that one of the things that you're taking upon yourself to push?
Yes, yes. Uniting the Afro scene is the big picture. You see, is the big picture. But I'm really starting with Cameroon because the African scene is already so big, and they listen to a lot of African songs all over the place. When I attend parties from other countries, they play songs. They play songs from Congo, Ivory Coast, Tanzania, Nigeria, Ghana. You understand? But then they don't play songs from Cameroon. And then when you inquire and they ask you, oh, what songs are from Cameroon? Do you have any musicians in Cameroon? You know, what does Cameroon songs sound like? You know, what do they sound like? Those questions, which leads me to believe that we Cameroonians, so promoters, DJs, even the Cameroonian populace itself, is not doing as much, because we, as a people, we need to love and promote our music amongst ourselves first. Once we hit that barrier and break it, then we can take it, you know, bring it on the table. You see, so we need to promote, take our music and our culture out there for people to see. You understand?
Yeah.
You know, there's this notion. If you go to a Cameroonian party, if you've ever attended one,
Yeah,
you play Cameroon music. You play Cameroon music for what? You know, a couple of songs. You have fellow Cameroonians coming to the DJ and going, change it, play something else, play Nigerian music. You see, those are the things that we need to change. You understand?
Yeah.
You go to a Nigerian party, they could play Nigerian songs from start to finish, and you will not hear one Nigerian complain. You understand? You will not hear one Nigerian complain that they should change the music. That's the passion and love they have for their culture. So we, as Cameroonians, need to have that too.
So, Mr. Ted, do you think there's kind of like a division in the African music entertainment industry? Because you mentioned that if you go to a Cameroon party and they play Cameroon music, some Cameroonians walk up to the DJ and they want it to be changed. So, is it something where you think there's a division between Afro-Caribbeans or Africans in the diaspora when it comes to men?
Entertainment wise, I will not go as far as saying there's a division. It's just some people are left out, and they are left out not because they want to leave them out. It's because they probably have not brought so much into the scene. You see, not because they do not have, it's because they've not been promoted to that level. You understand?
Yep.
The African scene is really united. To be fair, it's really united. If you look at the Afro festivals we have in London, the Afro Jam, which was supposed to be in Portimao this summer, it's not going to hold anymore. But if you look at the lineup, it's jam packed with African bangers. It's headlined by a lot of African stars. You know, Nigerians all over the place. You know, the whole of Africa has got artists in there. You know, so when I pick up the flyer and look at it, and I find that, okay, they've pretty much covered everything, you know, artists from all over Africa, and then we're missing, there's no Cameroonian artists there. But not because Cameroon does not play music, it's because we are not pushing our artists to that level. You understand? There's no Cameroonian promoter out there doing that work. That's our job, promoters. Break through these scenes and go to big promoters. Go to big promoters like, oh, this show is coming up. I would like to join you guys, but I would like to bring a Cameroonian artist onto the scene as well, to perform and bring it out. So the African music scene is quite united within the UK, very united. You understand? But it just needs particular people to step up to promote and put more effort, in bringing certain parts of it up. For instance, now, if I was to say name 3 Cameroonian comedians, you probably know none.
I don't even know.
You see, exactly, and we'll probably never heard of anybody. But we have them. We have them. They've got brilliant jokes. We have them. You see, so it's a thing where that's our goal. That's my goal as Rainmakers Entertainment, to promote that culture to that place where we can call 10 African comedians and a Cameroonian should be on that list. You see, 10 top African musicians in, listening worldwide, Cameroonian should be on that list. You see, so that's my goal. That's it.
It's a passion and a legacy that you're trying to push the Cameroon entertainment industry to be kind of like out there, people to know about it, people should hear about it, people should listen to Cameroon music, listen to Cameroon comedian, watch Cameroon movies, and that is all something that Rainmaker Entertainment are doing. I'd just like to ask you something. How do you manage your time, considering that you're still currently serving in the British Army, and you also have to do this Rainmaker Entertainment businesses, organizing these shows, how do you manage your time?
Well, time management, like you asked, is quite big, but my current posting has grounded me because I only do work around UK mainland now, so I have that bit of time where I can concentrate. Whereas if I was posted abroad or deployed abroad, serving abroad, I would not have had that time to run around and do stuff. But because I'm currently grounded mainland, doing operations all around the UK, so I have that opportunity to split my time out and actually do both, run with both.
And you've got a family as well, so how do you cope with having to do all that thing together? Like, I'm just asking because
Yeah.
I also do other stuffs, but sometimes it can be very, very it can be very, very packed that you end up thinking, oh, I got to split myself together. So how do you cope with family, work, your entertainment industry, and then having the passion to push Cameroon music, Cameroon comedy out there? How do you do that? Like, I'm just literally intrigued to know how you kind of like walk around that, when considering we only have 24 hours a day.
Yeah. I wish we had more, but the truth is, you need to have that support. You need to have that in-house support first. And my wife is my biggest fan. Honestly, my wife is my biggest fan. If I listen to everything that my wife was asking me to do, I'll probably be sat up there with Donald Trump, chilling. So my wife is my biggest fan. She's my biggest supporter. She pushes me. She's like, oh, you can do this. And also, it's not too bad when we have social media now. Social media is quite a big platform now. It's really big. It's the key instrument in this business, social media. You understand? So when we watch and talk to comedians, they send material, musicians, artists send their material, we promote, we hit up other platforms, we spread it out there on all our social media handles, Snapchat, the whole thing. And then we meet up with other promoters. We organize little gatherings. For instance, we have one of the Cameroonian artists, Rough K. He's launching a single, which is coming up on the 1st of August. So we've organized a little gathering, so, okay, everybody comes through, get everybody in, get your phones out. Let's do a live session, send it out there, let everybody see, you see. So organizing an event is where the hard part is. Promoting is not too bad. Once you have your social media, then you have people all over the place as a team, working as a team, you see. But organizing the events is, the standalone events where you have to book a hall, hire a hall, get people around, decorations, get the artists to come in from Cameroon, getting all those. That is the hard part, you see. And it's hard, but it's not impossible. You see, it's doable. Once you have a willing team and everybody is doing their bit, it's possible. So I'm really happy I've had this time around to actually set up and get the company running. And I've got a good team behind me, really. I've got a good team behind me.
All right. What change it's Rainmaker actually bringing in the entertainment industry that we haven't seen before?
Okay. Change-wise, right now, for instance, since the lockdown kicked in, we've not been able to do much. Nobody has been able to do anything really. But what we've done, myself and other Cameroonian promoters and DJs, so I've succeeded to mobilize a few people who also have this passion in entertainment. DJs, I've mobilized a number of Cameroonian DJs, another entertainer, another promoter like me, a few artist managers, we've mobilized them. We now have a group where we share ideas and actually pushing things out, And from the time when I started speaking with the other promoters and the other artist managers that are into the business, we've actually seen a big change because now people who were in their corners, who didn't know other people doing, some like-minded things, are now coming together, wanting to be a part of this movement, you see, because now in the last couple of months, there are people who have known about Cameroonian artists they never heard of. You see, they known about Cameroonian, have gone as far as signing partnership deals with these people. Imagine from January, you didn't know this person, and bam, in April, he's good. I'm signing him onto my label. You understand? That's how much. And just because we've been in this lockdown period, we've all been working, under the sheets, under the covers, behind the curtains, just waiting for that, that word, that green light saying go. The moment we get that green light, everything is gonna be out in the open. You're gonna see us running around, putting up shows, doing things, and that's when you start seeing that change. But right now, the change is happening. It's all behind the curtain, and I'm quite happy with that because when you work behind the curtain, it's quite good because you're focused. You're actually doing work. But now, when it comes to the open, you face little challenges here and there. But working behind the curtain with this team I've been working with, it's been amazing because the positive energy that we've gathered together, by the time we hit the main stage, we'll be strong enough to spread that love, that positive vibe everywhere. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Just a couple of few questions from me before we run up this session of Inspiring Transformation. What advice will you give someone that is listening to you right now and thinking of starting up an entertainment industry where they want to promote or push their own country music and comedian or their own country entertainment to the world? What advice will you give that person?
First of all, I would say get your community involved. You see, your community, your people, get them involved because they are your first point of contact. You see, get them involved. It's your culture. You need to love it. You need to love it. Get your people to get behind it, and then you can sell it out to the world. You see, don't be shy. We have a lot of cultures. Africa is so big, so vast. And, sometimes because one person is doing it so big, and the other person is probably not doing it or doing it and it's not as big as this person, they seem to overshadow you and everything. But why must they? We all can step up there and just give them Africa as a whole. Give them the different bursts of flavors, give them the different bursts, in our food, in our, the tradition, the code, everything. So nobody should be shy. Get out there, get your community behind you, get to everybody. So go to all the little restaurants, get everybody in. This is what, have a vision. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. Get them behind it. And before you know it, you're going to have people in the community who have the same passion, but don't know how to go about it. You have people coming to you. I like this idea and I'm supporting you. I'm behind you. We're pushing you. And boom, that's how you go forward with it.
So how have you been able to, in your own experience, been able to get the Cameroon community behind you or behind Rainmakers Entertainment? What are the practical steps that you've taken to get them behind you?
For me, practical steps is when you see a fellow Cameroonian doing something, whatever it is, and you can picture that this thing this person is doing can promote our culture, go there and support them. Support them. Support your own is what they call it. You see. So if someone was organizing an event, whatever it is, go there, show them support. And when it comes to your turn, they will turn up and show you support as well. That's what it is. Building that community, getting out there to everybody, telling them what you do, how you're trying to do it, and then they will tell you what they are doing, how they're doing it, and how they need your help. So body system, helping each other. That's how I found it, and that's how I've been doing it. Going out there to support my brothers and sisters doing all sorts, and they will come to me to support me too when I kick out.
What has been your biggest challenge in going out there to promote Rainmakers Entertainment?
Oh, my biggest challenge so far, it's people saying, well, it's people always say, but it's the fact that once there's been somebody already doing something similar, you know, people think, oh, you're never gonna be that person, you're never gonna get there. But what they fail to understand is, I'm not trying to be that person. I have my own vision. You understand? And another thing I've really seen that is really it's worrying is the fact that people try sidetrack you, take you away from your vision. You understand? You see, so once you have your goal, you've set your goal and you're working towards that goal, yes, opportunities will come in, but you have to pick wisely. If you see one which is good, but it will take you away from your vision, don't do it. Don't do it. You've set a goal, achieve that goal first. You understand? Focus on your goal and go for it. I've had other people come to me, propose business ideas and everything. I've sat down and looked at them and, thought to myself, this one is good, but it's not for me. This one is good, but it will take me away from my goal, So making wise choices. When you make a choice, think about the goal you have in mind. You see? So really it's a problem of choice. At this point, I'm so happy because it's a problem of choice. It's now up to me to make those choices because the support is amazing. It's massive. Everybody wants to get in. Everybody wants to join in. So you have ideas coming in from everybody. Oh, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. I'm like, okay, that's nice, but that's not part of my vision. But I know what to do. I know somebody who shares a like-minded idea. So I'll send you to that person. You see. So I've not been able to promote your vision, but I've sent you to somebody who shares the same ideas as you, and then you guys can work together. You see. So we all have our goals, but where they come, where we cross paths, we work together and we keep going forward. That's my challenges I'm facing, and that's how I'm dealing with them.
All right. What are some of the life lessons that you've learned, either in your time not in your time, either currently serving the British Army or having to run the Rainmaker Entertainment? What are some of the life lessons that you've learned in this process or in this journey?
Life lessons. The first one is, if you believe in your hustle, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. If you believe in your hustle, it's your passion. You need to develop that passion first. Don't always think about the money, because a lot of people are short-sighted. You understand? Because you try something the first time and it doesn't work, a lot of people give up. Because one, they have the defeatist mindset and they don't have the support around them. You see, you need to shut out all the negative energy, be able to take constructive criticism. We call it work on points. We don't even call it criticism no more. Just be able to take on board new ideas, work on points. If somebody rings you up, I saw you do this, but there's a better way you could do this. Thank them, appreciate them, because they even took out time to watch you do stuff. You understand? So appreciate that, take it on board, find a way to culminate it, incorporate it into your ideas and the way your modus operandi. You see. So my life lessons is, be open to ideas, be wise in making your choices, and don't give up. If it's not paying off today, remember you got in it first for the passion.
Yeah.
And if you believe in that dream of yours, you would go places.
Wow, that is really some word of advice there. Thank you very much for that advice. Just before we round up, if you could do one thing differently from 2009 that you came to the United Kingdom, what could that be?
If I could do things differently,
Just
just one thing.
Yeah, if there's one thing that you feel like, what, probably I should have joined the British Army in 2009 or maybe before university. What could that, or maybe I should have started Rainmaker Entertainment, earlier than I started it in 2011 with
Yeah,
my guy. What could that
yeah,
one thing
that's it.
be?
That's it. You've hit the nail on the head. If there's one thing I could change, I should have started Rainmakers Entertainment way back. I should not have left that gap, that long time. You see, because what happened was I was running away from that passion. You understand? I kept on thinking, oh, because I'm in the army, I will not be able to manage it upon that. You understand? But because it's my passion, it kept on creeping back every time. I remember back in 2014, somebody asked me, it's like, what is stopping you from running a promotion agency or an entertainment company and bringing artists? You understand? What is stopping you? Because you love music, you love parties. You could be doing the same things, but I kept on dodging. You see, so if I could change one thing, it would be I should not really have taken that long of a gap chasing that passion. You understand? I should not have taken that long of a gap.
Do you think that is a challenge that a lot of young people from Afro-Caribbean background that they face, that thing where they run away from the passion chasing other things? Do you think it's a problem that we face being Afro-Caribbeans in the United Kingdom?
I would say the problem is not really for the general population.
Yeah.
It's not really running from it. It's how to go about it. And the first thing is finances. That's what breaks a lot of people, because people have a ton of ideas, you see. So the first thing that stops them or retards that progression of that idea is where do I get the money to do this? You see, and how do I go about it? That's just what keeps a lot of people down. You have a lot of people who have the passion to open restaurants, who have the passion for food. I want to serve people good food. I want to do this. I want to be a tailor. I want to do this. But how to go about it, they don't know. And then the finances, the capital to start, it scares a lot of people away. You see, we have a system here that has been put in place to help young business owners. You see, you could go to your councils, you could go to the government to get little grants, little loans to start. But people don't know that because they have not inquired, they've not gone into research. But we have all those things to help young entrepreneurs and young business owners to kickstart their businesses.
So could it be it's the lack of information that we don't have, or could it be the problem where we are not well informed, or could it be we don't know where to go seek for the help, or could it be because we are ethnic minority groups? Or in your own opinion, what do you think could actually be that key factor that is stopping this young Black entrepreneur or these young Afro-Caribbeans that want to start up businesses, want to start up entertainment industries, that want to just literally start up things? What is actually, because you've mentioned finances, and then you've also talked about information, lack of information. So in your own opinion, what do you think is actually the key that if I come to you and be like, Mr. Ted, I've got this idea, but I don't know what to do about it, what advice will you give me?
We need to be bold. That's what it is. We need to be bold. If you see someone who is bold, they're not scared of speaking out. You see? So if you need help, be bold to take that step and ask for help. If you need to know something, be bold to ask the right questions to take you to that information. You understand? We need to be bold. If you look at Nigerians, they're naturally bold. We say they are loud, but they are bold. You understand? Look at the Caribbeans. They're bold. They speak out. You see? So we need to be bold to know that I know where this thing is. I need to go there and get it. And if you go and ask the right questions, say the right things, you'll get it. So I think with our ideas, we need to actually be bold to come out, present our ideas in the manner of projects, present a project to somebody who you want to be a sponsor, make him see your dream, make them see your dream. And then off you go, you get the tick, they're behind you. You get your support, you get your sponsorship, you get your grants, you get your loans, you understand? So I think that first step comes from within. You need to take that first step. The system is already there in place. So we, as the various individuals and communities with those ideas, we need to be bold, be able to come out and speak out and say, this is what I want to do. I'm going to grab it and, push it forward. That's my advice. We need to be bold.
All right. One last question from me. Where do you see Rainmaker Entertainment in 10 years?
Rainmakers Entertainment in 10 years. I'm really looking at us at the top, joining the ranks of, top UK promoters. I want Rainmakers Entertainment to be that go-to when you hear a Cameroonian event is happening somewhere. Rainmakers Entertainment should be involved. Rainmakers Entertainment should be that go-to. I want to be that first Cameroonian promoter to take Cameroonian artists to Afro Jam festivals. All these festivals that they hold for, the Afro Festival, Summer Festival in London, everything, Rainmakers Entertainment. I want to be up there. I want to be the one spearheading the promotion of Cameroon culture. That's where I see myself in 5 years, not even 10. Yeah.
I see you like your country, Cameroon, so much.
I do.
Is there anything else you would like to share with our listeners? It could be a word of advice. It could be,
I'll just say, keep supporting the people you see vision in. Don't let somebody's vision die because you didn't give your support. People on the social media platforms, if you have to go and follow, you go follow. It's just a follow. You understand? If people follow you and you're in a position of, influence, follow them back, promote them. It will cost you nothing. Follow them back, promote their stuff. You could just post somebody's article or something on your page, and then another person sees it and likes it. And, and that's just it. Let's just show love to one another. Showing love, love yourself. And if you love yourself that much, you would realize that it's so healthy that you would love to love another person, to just share that love. That's my only advice I would give out.
Thank you very much. That was Mr. Ted from Rainmakers Entertainment talking to Njambo Radio on Inspiring Transformation. If you want to get in touch with Mr. Ted, can you just leave your Instagram, your Facebook, your website on the show? So in case someone wants to get in touch with you or collaborate with you on what you're doing, we'll be able to give them that information?
Yes. You could catch me on Instagram or Rainmakers Entertainment on Instagram, on Facebook, Rainmakers Entertainment, on Snapchat, Rainmakers Entertainment, as well as you could catch me on my website, www.rainmakersends.co.uk. So you could reach me out on all of these handles. Once this goes on the Facebook page, I'll be out there and I will put it I'll send a link to the Jambo Radio's page and I'll post it out there. So if you go, look me up, click, like, follow, and I'll follow you back and let us spread the love. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, guys. That was Mr. Ted talking to Jambo Radio.
On the World Wide Web, on your mobile phone, and on all social media platforms. Jambo Radio.